right, we are up to day 196, and the quote for today says, "The purpose of life is not to be happy. The purpose of life is to matter, to be productive, to have it make some difference that you lived at all." And it says, I hate this question. Have you found your purpose in life yet? If so, what is it? If not, are you still searching for it? How does your purpose and passion intertwine? So if you're following along, you might just pause and take a minute to think about how you might respond to this. And I will read what I wrote. And I said I hate this question because I don't know, does anybody know what their purpose in life is? Or maybe some people do, but I don't think that many people do. And I think I hate it because I do not. So yeah, so that's what I wrote. I said, nope. I said, up until a couple of years ago, I did have this feeling that there was possibly some grand purpose for me in life, but I didn't know what it was. I just kind of I had this feeling that it would just come out at some point. But now that I'm getting older, I'm kind of okay, well, now I'm an adult. When am I gonna know what my purpose is? Okay, so I wrote that. I said, but as I'm getting older, I'm beginning to wonder if that's true, or if so. I said, one, am I ever gonna find it? And two, if I do find my purpose, will I actually be able to follow through with it? So I said, I'm even beginning to wonder if there's any purpose to anything at all. I said that thought sort of scares me because I feel like that's what bad people think when they do horrendous things. I don't feel like I want to go out and do horrendous things, but I feel like if you get kind of nihilistic in that sense of what's the point of anything, then you might start thinking well, I'll just go out and do what makes me feel good, if there's no point to all this, let me just do what makes me feel good. And then I said, to do some of the bad things people do, I feel like they'd have to see themselves as disconnected from society, almost like they're in a video game or simulation where nothing they do really matters. And yeah, I've been seeing some crazy things on the news lately. There was this guy that was just going around LA for no reason, just randomly running people off the road and taking a pipe out and starting to beat on their cars and stuff and threaten people. And I'm why would someone do that unless they just really felt nothing matters, let me just go do whatever I want? And I mean, obviously there's probably a mental health aspect to that, but I don't know, I just worry that if so many people feel like there's no purpose, what's gonna keep them from just being screw it, if I do this bad thing, at least I'll leave a mark on some people, even if it's a negative mark. I said, thankfully, I don't feel like there's a bad person inside of me that would do anything outwardly bad. I said, but I do worry that I may settle with just being content without living up to my full potential, but maybe that is the purpose of life. And so yeah, I've kind of feel like I've gotten to a place that maybe there's not this huge big grand thing that you're supposed to accomplish in your life, and maybe that's okay. What if the purpose of life is to just live, and just try to be as content as you can be? So I'm kind of torn between that. There a couple of these questions have been make a difference in the world and every person can make a difference. And so I'm torn between that. Should I work towards trying to make a difference in the world and in someone's life? Or should I just work towards being in a place where I'm content? And I don't mean content in the sense of where I'm super rich and I have all these nice things. I think it's kind of the opposite of that, being happy with what I have and just enjoying life from day to day. But I do worry because it seems like more and more people aren't able to do that because, like I mentioned before, like we're at a time right now where rents are just really high for a lot of people and people can't afford to even like live. So it would almost be impossible for a lot of people to even be in a place to where they're content. And I think it's coming out, like I think there's been a lot of people that have lived like that throughout most of history where they're just like trying to survive. But now I think it's reaching like the middle class, or what used to be the middle class, like a different group of people that aren't used to like having as many hardships. And you know, I think a lot of people that grew up maybe like middle class or whatever, they saw like, I'm gonna do these great things, I'm gonna be happy, and I'm gonna reach this point and, you know, have kind of like a content life. And now it's becoming out of reach for like more and more people. And I just wonder, like, when people grew up having these expectations and then that kind of gets shut down for them, like, how are they going to react to it, I guess? I don't know. And I guess I am seeing more and more people just kind of in despair, and it bothers me because I feel bad for those people, because I couldn't imagine, like, I mean, I've struggled, you know, some, but I've never really felt hopeless. And I see more and more people kind of feeling hopeless. Like, not only are they trying to find their purpose in life, they're just trying to find a point of life at all. Like, not even like this higher grand purpose, but just like even like a point to living at all. And I don't know. But yeah, I think that's where I'm at. Like, just trying to be content is kind of like where I'm seeing the purpose going right now. I would like to do something bigger and better, but I don't know. I'm sorry if you can hear my cat snoring. So yeah, I felt like I had something else that I was gonna say, but it's gone now. So I guess that's all I have for this day. I'll be back tomorrow with day 197. We're almost done. We've only got 3 days left. So yeah, I'll be back tomorrow.